What's up? Hey, hello, everyone. Wow. So today we are back going to be talking about Survivor, but today we are going to be doing a Survivor sort of theme-related season where we are going to give you 20 runners-up that we think would be a good season or should play again. So my name is Rachel.
And I'm Alyssa. And guys, this was actually really difficult. We were looking at who to put on this list because we wanted to have 20 people, which is enough for a full season. And we were like, some of these people are literally just goats. And then some of them were like Will Sims. And it's like, we're not going to talk about that. So, some of these people, you might be like, why the fuck are they on this list? And the answer is because they weren't goats or Will Sims.
Yeah, so Alyssa and I were like, oh, this is a really cool idea. Survivor runners-up season, that would be something cool. Just like, oh, Survivor first boots, that would be an awesome theme. But going down to the nitty-gritty of everything, looking through all the seasons, we have a good range of diversity for everyone. But you'll see when we go through the list, some of these people, it's sort of like, no, I really wouldn't really want to see you ever play again. But Survivor with either 2 people final tribals or 3, most of the times they're goats and we wouldn't want to see them play again, and you probably want to see the 4th place person play again. So you'll see with this list. And before we start, really quickly, I actually had the opportunity to guest podcast on Survivor Maryland's channel this past Monday, and it was really, really fun. We basically talked for 2 hours about the Survivor Maryland episode. So if you haven't seen that podcast, or if you haven't seen or heard of Survivor Maryland, definitely go check it out. It's an amazing YouTube channel, amazing TV show to watch on hiatus. So with that, we will start with our list. Our first person for Survivor runners-up we have is Colby Donaldson from season 2 is when he was 2nd place to Tina, and then he also played in All-Stars and Heroes versus Villains. And yeah, I don't know. Colby, I feel like, is the first golden boy. They said it in, I believe, Heroes versus Villains, stuff like that, that after season 2 aired, so many people named their kids Colby after Colby from Survivor.
Yeah, I feel like the thing about Colby is he slowly deteriorated in quality as his seasons went on. But it's he's one of the only male runners-up where I was like, if Colby came back for a 4th season, I wouldn't boycott. So like you said, he's kind of the original golden boy. And I just feel like also he was one of the runners-up where it was he could have won the game, I think. And I feel like one of the things that was hard about choosing this list of people was that as you get closer to the present, a lot of them were a lot more stratified. They were a lot more 10 to 0 to 0 or whatever. So it's picking runners up who actually had a chance at winning was something that was important to me when thinking about this list.
Yeah, with Colby, it said, if he took Keith to the end over Tina, he could have won, stuff like that. Colby didn't lose by that much in Final Tribal Council, and I feel like when I was, Colby, I was thinking he's sort of in Heroes versus Villains, at least people were like, oh, he's such an old man now, he's off his game, stuff like that. And it really reminded me of sort of JT in JT's gameplay, sort of gone downhill recently, as we've seen, LOL, but yeah, I don't know. I think Colby could be the better than JT version. They keep bringing JT back for a season. So if Colby wants to play, one of the original Golden Boys, I wouldn't mind it on the TV. Some of these people that we have on this list, I would mind. I wouldn't really want to see them play again. So Colby's okay, I wouldn't mind seeing him play again.
Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to. I wouldn't mind it. So the next person that we had on our list is one of my favorite Survivor players of all time, and it's Stephenie, and she was a runner-up in season 11. And I just really love her because I remember watching her for the first time, and I was like, 7 years old, and I was like, wow, I want to be just like Stephenie when I grow up. So really, I just chose this for the nostalgia factor. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Alyssa can pick her for this 20 people cast because I know she likes Stephenie. Stephenie also has played 3 times, same like Colby. Palau season 11 is when she got when she got famous, and then season 11 Guatemala is when she got second place. And I don't know, the thing with Palau, it's just like that was a bad season. I feel like with the whole one tribe loses basically everything and then they go down to one player into the merge. It just seems sort of like, I guess not really rigged, but just a bad season in general. And I feel like for a lot of these people on this list, it's like, oh, the first time they played and where they got runner-up, it was a bad season, and then they got runner-up. Or it's the second time they played and they got runner-up and it was a bad season like this. But I don't know. I wouldn't watch Palau if you're just like starting to watch Survivor because it doesn't have that much of an entertainment factor, especially when you know one tribe is going to lose and basically get decimated. But yeah, I don't know. Stephenie got voted out early in Heroes versus Villains, so I feel like that doesn't really count as playing a third time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else Stephenie has to show for like her Survivor gameplay. So I'm like, do we really need to see her again? I don't know.
Probably not. I feel like a lot of these runners-up, they have been brought back before, which is also like an interesting thing. Like, I think most of these runners-up have played 2 or more times. So it's like,
yeah. So we were trying to pick people that aren't like super Survivor famous, so they've only played 1 or 2 times, but it's definitely hard because the people that do get brought back probably have made it far into the game, and we can definitely do a Survivor pre-merge dream cast kind of thing. And speaking of dreams, our next person on here is Dreamz from season 14, Fiji, of Survivor, and he's most famous for the car curse, going back on his word with Yao-Man. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like if Dreamz played again in a more recent season of Survivor, what he was disliked for, like, oh, the backstabbing and the lying and flipping kind of thing, maybe would be more respected in a more recent season versus in Fiji.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, like, I don't think that people consistently respect that kind of gameplay any point in Survivor history, but I just remember everyone being so shocked by the fact that Dreamz would go back on his word, and it's like, y'all, come on, like, it's Survivor. You shouldn't be shocked when people lie to you.
Yeah, but the car curse, that I was like so sad about that because it's like, okay, if you win the car, like blah blah blah, you'll never win the game. If he went back on his word, which going back on the word, I was like, oh, that sort of hurts. Like, Yao-Man's so cute, and then you F him over like that. It's like, oh, that's a stab to the heart, Dreamz. But yeah, I don't know. It just depends on, I guess, the jury or the time when you're playing, because we have Russell Hantz on this list too because we were running out of males for this 20-person cast, and it really depends. Sometimes people could respect that flipping and backstabbing. I guess other times people can't, but Russell is a whole different story with that kind of gameplay.
Yeah. So the next 2 people that we had on our list were actually from the same season. We said both Courtney and Amanda from season 15 Survivor China should come back to play again. And I feel like with Courtney, part of her appeal is she's just an entertaining player. Like, you're hearing what comes out of her mouth because it's like, wow, I want to be you when I grow up. Like, I wish I could be that sassy.
No, 100%. Like, I was thinking about it. Courtney is just so funny. I feel like she's overlooked because she's super thin and maybe not as good as challenges because she's so tiny. But then it's like, oh my God, if on the Survivor Q&A about like, oh, who are you most like on Survivor? I feel like if you put Courtney down, that's a kudos to you. Like, she is so funny, good confessionals, good TV, everything like that. Plus, she can like play the game, which is something that we haven't seen on Survivor recently. It's like, okay, someone's cast just for entertainment purposes, whereas cast someone like Courtney who can play the game and has entertainment purposes. Something like that would be a lot better.
Yeah, I definitely think that, like, there are some runners-up who it's like, they can't really play the game of Survivor, and they're not actually that, like, funny. So, like, if they were to actually cast an all-runner, Courtney would be one of the people I'd be enthusiastically yes to actually coming back.
Yeah, so I would like to see Courtney play again. It would be interesting because of relationships and stuff like that. Next, like Alyssa said, we have Amanda from the same season who also played Micronesia and Heroes versus Villains. So we have a lot of Heroes versus Villains people on this list. A lot of the people that came back, obviously, for season 20 are super popular, super famous in the Survivor community. I don't know. Amanda worked with Todd and Courtney, so that would be interesting in her first season. And she finished second, or like she finished in the final tribal council 2 times.
I think, yeah, like you said, she was the runner-up twice in a row, and I think that sometimes, like, people like to point to her as, like, this is people not learning from their mistakes in the game, because it's like, she knows how to get to the end, but she doesn't know how to win the game. And honestly, like, I feel like Amanda's one of those people where if they were to ask her to come back, she'd probably say no. So...
Why do you say?
I just feel like Amanda's, like, moved on from Survivor. That's just the general impression that I get. Plus, I also think it would be super embarrassing if she were to somehow become the runner-up in the seasons of runners-up. And I feel like that could happen.
Yeah, and I guess it's all about choices, too, because with her, Todd, Courtney, I guess that makes sense. She was second runner-up there. But then with her and Parvati, it's sort of like, okay, if you win that final immunity, who do you pick? And with that, I feel like she still probably would have lost against, like, Cirie in that situation if it were final 2 with her and Cirie.
Yeah, Amanda was screwed over either way.
So next we have my favorite person on Survivor. We have Stephen Fishbach from Tocantins and Second Chance. And I don't know, like we said about JT has sort of been going downhill recently with all of his like Survivor misplays, mistakes, and it was really funny in Game Changers with all the JT drama. People would tweet like, oh, like maybe Stephen really was the mastermind behind Tocantins, which was really funny. But I think after Second Chance, when we saw him play again, after that years-long break in between, I think that helped him get out of his like mind of like, oh, this is my second chance. I need to be super focused on things, stuff like that. So I think if Stephen did come back and play again, he could do really well, I feel like, because maybe he won't be so steadfast in like the, oh, Joe vote, or oh, this is my second chance, I need to make the most of it, but more like living for the day, living for the tribal council rather than being so focused.
Yeah, I feel like he won't have, if Stephen were to come back, he wouldn't have the whole like a white whale, call me fish male thing, because I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like there was something about JT and Stephen that made them both better when they were together. So I feel like seeing Stephen come back would also be one of those people that I'd be an enthusiastic yes to, just because he hasn't been overplayed, I don't think. So, yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. I like Stephen, so we're a little biased in that regards. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Stephen coming back. He's fun to watch on TV. And then we get other guest stars on Rob Has a Podcast, which was always fun. I really like listening to Tyson talk. So it's a win-win for everyone if Tyson's on the podcast and Stephen's on TV.
Yes, it is. So the next person on this list, like literally just got on this list because we were running out of male runners-up. and it's Russell, Hantz, who was the runner-up in Survivor Samoa. That's really all I have to say. I feel like Russell's reputation kind of speaks for himself. I don't want him on my television again. Please.
Yeah, I feel like with Russell, it's sort of like, okay, we saw you be runner-up or make final tribal council 2 times now, back-to-back seasons, and he has that reputation. I feel like he's just not self-aware. Like, he has the good gameplay, but he rubs everyone the wrong way, and then people don't really want to vote for him at final tribal council. So I feel like with Russell, he has that sort of negative reputation. I feel like Russell can never win the game because of that. We saw Redemption Island, bad season as well, but he was voted out early because of people know he can play the game, he can play it hard, and he can make it to the end. And I feel like Russell, with finding idols without the clues, stuff like that, he definitely led to like an evolution of the game, making gameplay more like fast, quick, cutthroat, everything like that. But I don't know, Russell's time is up. I feel like similar to all of those like famous people like Parvati, Boston Rob. I feel like these kinds of people probably won't be coming back anytime soon unless it is like a legend season. And Russell probably won't waste his time with anything but that, but they probably pay him to be on the season anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I just feel like Russell has had his time in the sun, so it's time to move on.
Yeah, go be oil rich. So next we have Chase Rice from Nicaragua, and he lost 4-5 at the end to Fabio, also known as Judd, Fabio. Yeah, I don't know. I liked Chase because he's a country music singer, and I like his music. So I don't know. With Chase, I feel like everyone was saying, oh, he's indecisive his first season, wishy-washy, can't trust him because he's wishy-washy, whatever. So I feel like coming back, Chase has only played 1 time, and it could be good, him coming back. He probably won't leave his music career and everything like that. But Chase, I don't know, he's like a cuter JT, I feel like. He has that Southern charm, popular in the country music world now, but like, I don't know, Chase is attractive, so.
I feel like also Fabio is one of those winners where like people are like, Fabio's not that great of a winner, so I feel like his runner-up would be like a logical choice to bring back. Like, take the winners that nobody likes and bring their runners up, and you might have a better season. That logic made a lot more sense in my head.
Yeah, or even like Sash from that season, or Marty, who didn't make Final Tribal, but like those people were interesting TV. Nicaragua, we've only seen Brenda play again. I feel like I can't recall anyone else from that season playing a second time, which is sort of like, that's weird. I feel like a lot of people from Nicaragua, maybe at least Marty, Chase, and Sash could definitely play again and be interesting on TV. I don't know why they keep bringing back like Gooby players when you have a lot of people that would be good, but maybe they just don't want to.
Yeah. I also feel like it's one of those things where, like, unless you're a Survivor, like, super fan, you don't really remember any of these people. Like, when we were sending each other, like, our lists, Rachel was the one who picked Chase as one of the people she wanted to see, and I was like, who the F is Chase? So I, like, had to, like, Google him, and I was like, is she talking about the country singer? And I had to do some serious memory searching to remember who the heck he was. So that was fun.
Yeah, if anyone's into country music, go look up Chase's songs. They're actually really, really good. So they're definitely bops.
Yeah, he co-wrote a Florida Georgia Line song that is like really popular.
Oh, I love Georgia
Line. Yeah. So next on our list is Sabrina, who's the runner-up in season 22. And I feel like the thing with this is Kim Spradlin played such like a perfect game of Survivor that bringing back her runner-up is basically the same as bringing back anyone else from that season because she just so thoroughly dominated that season that the runner-up is basically only the runner-up because she let them be. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was like. With some of these seasons, it's like, okay, a 10-0-0 vote. I think Sabrina, like any other season, she could have won, similar to people like, oh, Chrissy last season. If she were on any other season and did this kind of gameplay, she maybe could have won the season. Same with like Dominic. He could have won a season that didn't have Wendell on it, kind of thing. And Sabrina was brought back for the second chance voting, but she didn't make it on with the vote poll. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know, Sabrina would be good. Some more representation from One World. And like, you're bringing Colton back multiple times from One World. Monica has come back a few times. Like, why not bring back other people when you're bringing back freaking Colton 2 times? Like, come on now, CBS.
Yeah, let's just pretend that Colton doesn't exist. Like, yikes. But I totally agree about, like, she would have been able to win a season that didn't have Kim Spradlin, but also her season did. So, yeah. Sucks to suck.
So, next we have Coach from Tocantins, Heroes vs. Villains, and he was second place in South Pacific. I'm meh about Coach. I don't think he can ever win the game. So bringing him back, it's sort of like, I guess, entertainment value, chicken fodder for the chickens, I guess. That doesn't make any sense. Some kind of big animal that eats chickens, lizards, I don't know. But Coach, I would not really want to see him on our TV again. And now CBS is casting Coach archetypes, which is like, that's weird, but I don't know. I don't think Coach can ever win the game. So putting him on a season, it's like CBS recruiting people that can never win the game. So looks like we're CBS now, Alyssa.
We've come up a step further. I don't know. I was the one who picked Coach as one of the runners-up that I would want to bring back. And I think what you said about entertainment value is basically it. Just because, like, he's one of those people where it's like he's a nut, but he's, like, a lovable nut. Because, like, Rachel and I were also joking about, like, let's bring back Philip Shepard. And it's like Coach is, like, a better Philip, I think.
Yeah, if anyone wants any, like, great entertainment value, you have free time on this Friday. Ponderosa videos, a lot of things have been deleted off this Survivor CBS channel. I was trying to find some immunity challenges for our DIY videos, and they've all been deleted. So trying to figure out how to find those or get some video clippings for those videos. Because if you saw our last video on this channel, it's a DIY challenge, and we intersperse like the actual immunity challenge in there. But there's no more of those online anymore, so I need to find it. But tangent, going back. If you have time today, whenever, and you want something to do, the Ponderosa videos, I believe, from Tocantins still are online. And the funniest, not Tocantins, Heroes vs. Villains, the funniest Ponderosa videos are with him, Courtney, and JT. So Coach, Courtney, JT, Ponderosa, they started
their band.
Yeah, it's good. It's good entertainment value if you're bored.
Yeah, it's precious. So, the next person on our list is Monica Culpepper from season 27 of Survivor. And I feel like it's really interesting. I feel like bringing Monica back now that Brad has played and also been a runner-up, like, I feel like the weirdest thing would be if Monica and Brad both came back for runners-up season and they voted each other out, a la Sierra Easton. And it would be great. Like, I really don't care about anything else. That's just what I want from my life now.
No, that's like when we were putting this together, I was like, oh, Monica, cool. Oh, Brad, cool. Let's put them both on this season, and it's like blood versus water again. That would be great, I guess. I don't know. That'd be weird. But Monica we put on here. Brad we did not. I don't really know why. I guess we didn't. But Monica, One World, blood versus water, and she was sort of GOAT-y in Blood versus Water. So I would like to see Monica maybe improve for herself and make it that far without being super GOAT. So I feel like that's why I would prefer to see her over Brad. But yeah, if Monica can be not GOATy on her next season, that would be good TV, good strategy.
Yeah, I feel like I liked watching Monica, but when she became a GOAT, I was kind of like, okay, let's stop now.
Yeah, so I don't know, not really much to say about a lot of these people. I feel like it's sort of in a lull, I guess. I don't know. Just I wouldn't want to see her play again, I guess. I'm sort of over the Culpeppers, but if they do get invited back, I wouldn't necessarily mind.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. I'm over them, but also if they came back, I wouldn't boycott.
Yes, so the next person we have Spencer from Cagayan and Second Chance, second place in Second Chance, tied for second place with Tasha, but he said he would never play again, so there's that. But if he were on a runners-up season, I like Spencer his 2 seasons. I think he did improve a lot from his first time playing to his second time playing. So maybe third time playing, he can improve even more. And he's getting older now, so I think that will do him well because he was very young his first time playing. So age, being with his girlfriend, stuff like that, more life experience, I think that would bode well for a Survivor gameplay if he were to ever play again.
Yeah, I feel like Spencer's one of those people, though, where I think that he could only ever be a runner-up. Like, I get what you're saying about, like, more emotional maturity might be able to help him, but I still feel like even when he, like, got to his best, he was still a little bit of a game bot. So I feel like it would be interesting to see if he could ever surpass that.
Yeah, I guess that would be interesting. Too much chess.
Yeah, and not enough emotional connections.
I don't know how you fix that.
I mean, I don't think it's something you can really, like, fix. So, meh. The next person that we have on our list is Jaclyn from season 29. And I feel like one of the interesting things about Jaclyn is we were talking about how, like, oh, there was some people where it's like a 10-0-0 vote. It wasn't for her. Natalie got 5 votes and Jaclyn got 2. And I feel like that's pretty close, especially considering, like, how stratified voting has been in some seasons. And Jaclyn is also one of those people where, like, I don't think I ever really thought of her as a GOAT because, like, she did strategic things in the game. Like, she wasn't just dragged along, I felt like.
Yeah, I feel like with San Juan del Sur, it's sort of a crappier season in my books because I guess a lot of the big name people were voted out early. We see Jeremy and Josh go pretty much like right at the beginning of like just so quickly, and then John Rocker took up the pre-merge with his antics, whatever. And so just like a lot of people that season weren't interesting to watch, weren't really playing the game, I guess, 100%, and it was Blood versus Water also. Then you have annoying people on the season doing annoying things. So I feel like with Jaclyn, I would want to see her play again because I would want to see how she would play without her boyfriend kind of thing. Like, they did have a good alliance. They were in the middle for votes, and that's how that kept them going in the game, basically. So I feel like without John and Jaclyn together, I would be interested to see how, that goes. And Survivor always has their, like, weird quotas they want to fill. Jaclyn's super gorgeous, so that can fill your pretty person quota, whereas everyone in the seasons now are all pretty, so I guess it doesn't fit the quota. But if you want a pretty person season like last season where everyone is above standards, then there you go.
There you go.
Oh my God, this is getting long. God dang, how do we have 6 more people? So we have Carolyn, season 30, lost to Mike. I feel like similar to Jaclyn, just Carolyn got a lot overshadowed her season because of the men in the game, of the bigger players in the game. Carolyn, super strategic, super physical, older woman, and then loses to Mike. It reminds me of Chrissy last season as well. So I feel like her coming back, it'd be really good. I think Carolyn can actually win a Survivor season. So if this were the cast, I would put my money on Carolyn. And I think she should play again. She was on the second chance vote back in ballot, but didn't make it. So Carolyn will probably come back one day, hopefully. Otherwise, that's sad.
Yeah, Carolyn is one of the only people on this list where I would say I want her back and not just I wouldn't mind if she came back. Because, like you said, I feel like she has so much going for her. So, like, yes, I want her back.
Yeah, I think she can win a season. So, come back and play Survivor.
Yeah. So, the next person on this list is another personal favorite of mine. And it's Aubry from season 32. And I know we spent a lot of our time on our last podcast about the captains for the teams or whatever, saying that Aubry should not come back to Survivor right now. And I still agree with that, but I still feel like Aubry is one of the more solid runners-up in Survivor history, and I'm still bitter. So, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I agree. If you want to hear us talk about Aubry in depth, I would say go and listen to our podcast of the season 38 team reactions. We talk a lot about Aubry there. I feel like Aubry coming back, this would be her 4th time if this were any kind of season of Survivor. I don't know, 4 times playing, even 3 times playing, I feel like is reserved for the Survivor greats. So, I don't know. It's sort of like, why are you bringing back the same 5 people when we have people like Carolyn who has only played 1 time? Don't bring back Aubry. Next person we have is Tai. I wouldn't really want to see Tai play again. I think he did the same thing his first and second season time playing on Survivor, and it's like, I don't really need to see that on my TV.
Agreed. I just feel like the thing with Aubry and also with Tai is that they were really great characters the first time around, especially because like a lot of what they did was so unexpected. But once you like learned what their character was like, the unexpected stuff wasn't like a factor anymore, and they just suddenly weren't as like cool or fun, you know?
Yeah, which is sort of like, okay, he is this, crazy antics, chicken-loving person we saw in Co Wrong. Second time around, sort of does a really similar kind of thing. And it's like, am I watching a TV show with the same cast every 6 months? I don't want to see that again. If I wanted to watch a TV show that has like legitimate seasons, I would go watch like a drama TV show. I don't know even what I'm saying, but it's like, okay, Aubry comes back 3 times, cool. Tai 3 times, I don't know. Bring back someone else who has only played like 1 or 2 times. Scott or Jason even from that season if you're trying to bring co-wrong people. Sydney from that season. We don't need to see any more of these people. Or what about Anna from pre-merge? That's a good person to bring back. So we don't need to see these people who are so like oversaturated on Survivor keep playing. And then they'll have to bring Sia to the reunion show, and that wastes 10 minutes. So we don't need to see that either.
Tell us how you really feel, Rachel.
Oh my God, we'll see Sia every single reunion season.
Yeah, so we kind of talked about both Aubry and Tai together. So next on our list is Hannah from season 33. And I'm surprised just because like Hannah hasn't really been like mentioned since she played on season 33. And for some reason that surprises me, just because I feel like she's another one of those characters that I'd be skeptical about, just because I feel like her quirkiness was only really fun for like the first half of the season, and then there were some points where I was just like, oh God, no. So I feel like seeing her twice would be interesting, because it would be like whether or not she was still appealing after being on the screen for so long.
Yeah. Our next two people are Hannah and Ken from season 33. Recency bias, probably, but I think with Hannah and Ken it would be interesting, because either way they went to the end with Adam or with David, I think they would have lost the show. So I feel like for these two it would be interesting to see them come back and maybe be less goaty in a way, but I wouldn't really say that they are goats. We didn't really see that much of Ken on our TV. A lot of people were just like, oh, he's super attractive, you know, Gen Xer that isn't really sort of Gen X. But like, I don't know. I think both of them could like have potential for the game, and I think they could do really well. I don't necessarily know out of season 33 people if I'd want to see them again over someone like Michelle or Jay on that season. We are seeing David come back, but like Hannah, Ken, I guess it'd be some good TV. It'd be interesting to see like, oh, if they are willing to work together, or oh, if they are wanting to vote each other out, or if Ken will do his whole I'm super loyal thing and be like Coach, which would be interesting if Coach and Ken were on the same season.
That would be, but like you said, I feel like there are better people from that season to bring back. And I feel like that's one of the things with
Did Alyssa just freeze, or is it me freezing? But yeah, Danny Wong in the Survivor chat. Don't know if y'all can hear me or if you can't hear Alyssa, but yeah, the personalities did get sort of fake. I feel like a lot of the things. Alyssa?
A lot of the things. All I heard was a lot of the things. So.
I was really confused because one of us froze and I wasn't sure if it was me or if it was you.
I think it was you, but
because I couldn't hear you, so I started talking, and then I wasn't sure who was talking. Then I was like, oh, I'm talking to myself now. That's a lot of fun.
Gotta love those technical difficulties.
Danny in the chat says you froze, I think.
Me? Oh, that's so disappointing.
But yeah, I think you were talking, and then I was trying to fill space once you stopped talking.
Yeah, no, I didn't say anything important, so let's just move on with our lives.
Yeah, so Danny, you got it already. We have Chrissy on our list from Survivor Season 35 on here also. I think similar to like Carolyn that we talked about, Jaclyn even, overshadowed, I guess, by the people in her cast. I think Chrissy could have won a normal Survivor season if she weren't on the season with Ben, or if Ben didn't somehow find all these idols, or if they watched Ben go hunting for idols to prevent him from finding idols. She could have won, you know, individual immunities for an older woman like that, and for a girl in general. Like, that's super amazing. We all wish we could do that. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Chrissy again. I feel like people were disliking to her the first season. But yeah, I don't know. I think she has a lot of potential. She might be voted out early if she plays again, because people know she's like super, super smart.
Yeah, I feel like Chrissy is one of those people where the second time around she would just tank. Because like one of the things on her first season is like she was the person that puked at the first immunity challenge. So I feel like a lot of people didn't take her seriously. Like she got that idol from Ryan, and it was like someone thought that she needed saving. So I'm not sure if she could be as much of a powerhouse the second time around.
The phone's still ringing. Okay, there we go. I don't want stalkers. But no, yeah. I agree. I think Chrissy could potentially have a target on her back really freaking messages. Chrissy could have a target on her back early because of her last performance.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Chrissy's one of those people where it's like, I'm not sure if I really want to see her again. I just feel like part of it is I feel like Survivor fans, like there was a huge rift between Chrissy fans and Ben fans, and I was like, can we just be done with this? Like there was just so much drama, I feel like, at the end of the season when people were like, oh, it was rigged in Ben's favor, and I'd rather not deal with that again.
The voice messenger is still going. What the heck? So you can introduce the last person.
Gotcha. So the last person that we had on our list is Dominic from season 36. And I feel like it was so weird for me to like think of him on a runners-up list because for some reason I think of him as like a co-winner because he and Wendell got the same amount of jury votes. So like, yeah. I feel like Dominic is also one of those people where the second time around he wouldn't do as well just because like he was very big and bold and aggressive, and I feel like his partnership with Wendell was also one of the things that got him as far in the game as he got. So, like, playing without Wendell would be interesting. Seeing him play with a bunch of second-time players, though, like repeat players, would be interesting because I feel like they would definitely more respect, like, his style of gameplay.
Yeah, I feel like for Dominic, it would be very interesting if he came back for this kind of season where, oh, maybe it's runner-ups or something like that. I feel like he would have a big target on his back, obviously, from this past season. It's super recent. He freaking tied to win the game kind of thing, played an amazing, aggressive, good game, you know, to get votes at the end. So I feel like him playing again, he would have a target very early on. So if Dominic does come back and play a second time, I think it would have to be on a season like Second Chance, where a lot of the people who come back are people worthy of coming back to Survivor. I feel like if Dominic came back for a season like Game Changers, he would be voted out early like Tony and Sandra because people would think he is a big threat. So Dominic needs to figure out the sweet spot of when to come back, but I guess you don't really know that when Survivor calls you to invite you back. So that sucks.
Yeah, I feel like in general, this list like proves the fact that runners-up aren't always the second best players on this season, on any given season. Because it was really hard to pick runners-up where I was like, I want to see this person again.
Yeah, for us, Dominic being runners-up like spawned this idea of, oh, runners-up should have a season. But after doing this video, I don't know, maybe not. I feel like handpicking a few here and there could be a good season. When we were creating our list of 20 people, I messaged Alyssa and like, could we make this a first kind of season? Like, oh, like first losers, also to have fourth place in there and runners-up, because most of the time it seems like Final Tribal Council, it's not really the 2 or 3 most deserving players to win the game, but it's sort of like the winner and then 1 or 2 losers or less people that weren't edited as well. So it makes it really hard to have a season like this where you're rooting for the what's it called in a TV show? Not the main character, but like the backup character in a show. So
it's supporting characters?
Yeah, like a supporting character. So we didn't see their full story the first time. Will we see it the second time? We don't know, because maybe they aren't the main character the second time again.
Yeah, I just think, yeah, please, Survivor, don't make an only runners-up season. That would suck.
Yeah, so definitely, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, check out the Survivor Maryland channel and episode that I was on. It's super, super fun. It was a great experience. Check out the last few videos that we did on this channel, because we have the one we just posted on Tuesday. It's a DIY challenge from season 35, which was a ton of fun. And then before that, we talked about season 38, which is super, super crazy. Let us know what other kinds of videos you want to see us do. We want to do more of these like Google Hangouts talking videos, but we also want to do some more of the DIY challenges. And I'm not sure any other kinds of videos we're thinking.
Yeah, I think it's mainly just those things. So if you have any other ideas that you want us to do that doesn't fall under one of those categories, let us know, and we'll try our best to do that. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.